Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 1113. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟. That's Durham's online community paper. Check out the newly refurbished, totally redesigned Durham 𝗕𝗨𝗟 and let me know what you think of it. Okay, so with Bull City Hangout, I tell you what's happening today in Durham and then invite you to click on that link on the Facebook side. Join me on camera to shoot the breeze, share information, etc. So I'm going to start out with the word page. Just going to let you know that the libraries are open until 6. Bragtown is not open on the weekend, so it's just the other libraries and of course Stanford L. Warren closed for repairs. And the main library, if you haven't been there yet, now's a good day to go because I believe it's going to be from noon until 4. They're going to have a CD $1 sale. So for $1, you can get a CD. That sounds like a really good deal to me. So there you go. Last thing on the word page that I will mention, there's lots more, but I'm just going to mention just one more item. Let me scroll down to Wester Auction. They've been auctioning off Northgate Mall bit by bit. Don't know when the next round is, but they will be auctioning off items from the banquet hall, and that's going to be this coming Wednesday. So maybe if you have time, if you're running a restaurant or you're just curious, maybe this weekend go online, see what's on offer, and maybe even put in an online bid because the auction is going to be online as well, 6:00 p.m. on Wednesday. Okay, let's go to the school tools page. That might be a strange page to go to on the weekend, but it's not really. Because if you are curious about the Carolina Friends School, today's your lucky day from 1 until 3. They'll be leading a virtual campus close-up tour of Carolina Friends School. So again, that is from 1 until 3. You can ask questions if you're considering maybe sending your kids there. So check that out today from 1 until 3. Let's see. Let's go to the gardening page, Garden Shed. If you're curious about mushrooms, this might be up your alley. So the Durham Co-op Market on Chapel Hill Street, they're going to host a fungi chat with a fun guy, Frank Hyman. Okay, I love the puns. Okay, now some people say fun guy, so I'm going to say it that way. A fun guy chat with fun guy, Frank Hyman. This is bad. Okay. 12:30 until 1:30. This is a free talk. He has taught like thousands of people how to forage and hunt mushrooms. And in fact, he'll be using information from his latest book, which is called How to Forage Mushrooms Without Dying, an absolute beginner's guide to 29 wild edible mushrooms. That sounds really interesting. So again, that's going to be today at the co-op starting at 12:30. All right. I'll bet they'll have some samples as well. I'm just guessing. Okay, what else? Let's go to the Let's Go page. That's the last page we'll be visiting. There's lots happening today and tomorrow. Let's see. So the Durham Farmers Market, they're on until noon in Durham Central Park. Durham Craft Market, also in Durham Central Park until noon. The South Durham Farmers Market until noon, south on Highway 55 in the Greenwood Commons Shopping Center. The Durham Art Market until 1 o'clock on Foster Street downtown, right next door to Durham Central Park. Let's see. Now, this is happening right now. District 3 and District 4 PAC meetings are meeting right now, and they don't mind your tiptoeing in late because it's on Zoom after all. So PAC is Partners Against Crime, a great way to find out what's happening in your community, also a good way to find out about city and county programs. So if you want to attend, you might want to hop out and attend that, maybe watch the rest of my show on the replay, or just be a little late and watch the rest of Bull City Hangout. So let me continue and respect your time. Let's see, White Rock Baptist Church, they're having their grocery giveaway. That's going to be today, starting at 11 o'clock, 11 until 1, and they give away great groceries, just saying. And they're served by the number 5 and the 5K bus. They give away so many groceries, I don't think you could handle this on the bus. I really don't. I usually say have a rollaway cart, But because they give away like whole bags of potatoes and whole gallons of milk. So I don't know. I'm just saying, try to catch a ride with someone. Um, Sometimes I think you can get up to 2 households worth of groceries in one car, according to their regulations. Okay, again, that's 11 to 1. Also, wait a minute, where is that? Is so weird. Okay, Jules Feeding Friends, that's from 10 until noon. That's at KIPP Charter School. Somehow I missed that. That is on Holloway Street. And again, free groceries, and they give away a lot too. So again, that's from starting just now until noon. Okay, and let's see what else. There's going to be a concert today. Let's see. Let me find it. You know what? This is so weird. I had the same trouble yesterday where I opened up the Skywriter and it was not up to date. And I thought I checked. So, what I'm going to do is close this out and then go to a different browser. This is really weird. Let's see if this works. This is very frustrating too because I want to be able to open up the most recent iteration of the Durham Skywriter, and I don't know why it's not up to date. I thought I had checked. Okay, so let me go to another browser and click on Let's Go and see if that's better. I appreciate your putting up with me. Like I said when the show first started, Durham Skywriter has been totally redesigned. I'm on a whole different platform. I'm learning how to use this. So let me scroll down and see if it's updated. Because if it's not, I have a problem. Because when I was editing, it worked. So let me see if the public version is up to date. There it is. There you go. The Carolina Theater of Durham, they're having their Family Saturday series featuring 𝗕𝗓𝗟 Thomas. She is a singer and songwriter. She's really interesting because she has her feet in both camps. I don't know if she mixes R&B with country music or country music with R&B. In any case, beautiful artist, really nice music, a storyteller. So you might want to check this out. Admission is only $5, and this is today, starting at 11 o'clock. Hopefully it's not too late for you to get tickets. So this is a family-friendly series at the Carolina Theater of Durham, which is downtown on Morgan Street, that they're having on Saturdays. Now, you have to have your proof of, your COVID vaccine, but also if you want to stay home and attend, you can do that. You can still pay and stay home and have access to the recording of the concert, the live concert, for 24 hours, which I think is really clever of Carolina Theater. So again, that is today, the Family Saturday series, 𝗕𝗓𝗟 Thomas, starting at 11 o'clock. All right. Let's see. Told you about White Rock. Okay, Remembrance Day, that starts at 11 o'clock, and that's going to be at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Site, just a smidge west of Edison Johnson, Edison Johnson Recreation Center. Free admission, of course, and I guess different military veterans will be sharing stories and etc. That should be really interesting, a somber occasion, but a good event to attend. It's going to be from 11 until 2. Okay, the Independent Animal Rescue, they're having 2 events today. So the cat adoption event is going to be at Petco, the one on Renaissance Parkway, way south on Fayetteville Road. That's going to be from noon until 1:30. I'm sorry, that's going to be from 11 until 2. Then they're going to have a dog adoption event. That's going to be at Sunny Acres on Highway 70, and that one's going to be from noon until 1:30. So you get to play with the animals and see if you take, or if they take to you, and maybe make an adoption. All right, and speaking of adoptions, the Triangle Beagle Rescue of North Carolina, they're having a Triangle Beagle Rescue Adopt-a-thon at Boxyard RTP. That's over there, obviously, RTP. And this is going to be from noon until 2. And if you're not familiar with beagles, that's what Snoopy is. Well, he doesn't look like, well, he's a stylized beagle, but beagles are great family pets. They are so cute and so happy. I love beagles. Never had one, but I love them. Now, today is I didn't know if you know this, it's the second National Pupusa Day celebration. Did you know about that? Pupusa, it's like flatbread. It's like the traditional dish of, I think it's El Salvador. Let me make sure. Yeah, El Salvador. So it's like a flatbread, and then it's filled with different things like maybe pork or cheese or whatever, beef, whatever. So it's called the National Pupusa Day Celebration, and sponsored or hosted by So Good Pupusa. And you can help them get their food truck back together. I think they had a little problem there, and they need your help, our help, to get it straight. So it's a fundraiser. They will be serving pupusas, but also they're hoping that you will donate as well as purchase pupusas. You can donate online. I do have the link so that you can help them out with their so good pupusa food truck. And they used to vend over when I was DJing at the downtown bus station on third Fridays. And I do hope they come back. I really do, because they're wonderful people. Oh, did I tell you the time? Probably not. It's today from 2 until 8, and I didn't tell you where. It's in Durham Central Park, downtown. Okay. Now, the Bull City Roundup and Speed 4, they're co-hosting the next Bull City Roundup Food Truck Rodeo and Vendor Market 80s and 90s edition. Wow, that's a mouthful. That's going to be today from 2 until 10. That sounds great because, hey, who doesn't like a food truck rodeo? So maybe you can have some pupusas earlier, and then maybe later head out to the Bull City Roundup and get some more food truck food. So this is going to be, again, from 2 until 10, and this is over there on Ramsey Street by the railroad tracks. All right. Oh, free admission, by the way. And they're going to have music. They have like a VIP zone. It's really a fun event. They have craft persons. They have vendors. It's really a big deal. It's, again, the Bull City Roundup Food Truck Rodeo and Vendor Market 80s and 90s edition. I'm assuming 80s and 90s probably refers to the music that will be playing, because they always have DJs over there. Also, I've been talking this up all week. Bill Gaither and the Gaither Vocal Band, they're appearing in concert at the Kings Park International Church this evening from 6 until 10. So this is, let me tell you who else is going to be there. The Gaither Vocal Band, also Kevin Williams, Gene McDonald, and Lady Love Smith. Tickets are $30, $27 for seniors and kids from 2 to 12, and then $25 for church members, Kings Park church members, that is. So that is going to be this evening from 6 until 10. Sacred Grounds, as always, they have wonderful free Christian music concerts. So today it's going to be singer-songwriter Tokyo Rosenthal, free concert, 7:30. Of course, they will graciously accept any donation you might want to make. So the music starts again at 7:30. Now tomorrow there's a few things happening. I'm so glad to see everything open back up. So, oh, by the way, Guy, our cook, is waiting in the wings. Hey, Tachi. Tachi's here. Dr. Tachi. Mediascope is really fun this past Wednesday. Oh, it's always fun. Mediascope is a fun show. Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern on all kinds of, let's see, Facebook. Look up Mediascope 16. Facebook, WJMS Radio Online. There's some radio station in the Bahamas and LinkedIn. And anyway, so check out Mediascope with MC Curtis as well. Okay, let's see. Oh, I mentioned Guy, our cook, because, I got my booster shot. Ooh, it kind of is, yeah. I actually have a headache and my arm is sore. I don't want to scare you away. Get your booster shot. I'm just going to have, I think, a day of discomfort today. And I might head out a little bit, but I think I'm going to pretty much try to sleep a day off because, yeah. Anyway, let me continue. I want to respect your time. Where was I? Tomorrow, yes. Grace Ministries International, they're celebrating Family and Friends Day. That should be lots of fun with music and fun and fellowship and food. So that's going to be tomorrow starting at 11 o'clock. Also, Durham is known for food truck rodeos, so I'm not repeating myself. The autumn food truck rodeo is going to be in Durham Central Park. That's going to be tomorrow from noon until 4. Very proud to say I got to DJ at the very first Durham Central Park food truck rodeo. So tomorrow, I don't know if they're going to have music because they don't have it listed. But I actually listed all of the food trucks. There's like 30 of them, and I actually listed all of them. So this is going to be tomorrow from noon until 4. Don't forget your lawn chair and maybe even a little blanket. I think it's going to be a little airish tomorrow, but still it's going to be sunny and it's going to be a beautiful way to bask in the autumn sun tomorrow from noon until 4 in Durham Central Park. Also, the Black Farmers Market, they're hosting the Black Farmers Market NC. They're hosting the Black Farmers Market on Golden Belt. That's going to be tomorrow from 1 until 4. Always a fun event. Fresh produce. Help support Southern Black farmers. That would be super awesome. Now, I'm from Chicago, and what very often happens in Chicago, there are Black farmers that drive all the way from Mississippi to Chicago. And as you might know, Chicago has the largest population of Black folks from Mississippi than anywhere else in the world, maybe even including Mississippi, maybe not. I think maybe number 2. But anyway, they would drive all the way up to Chicago and be welcomed with open arms, usually at a Black church. Anyway, support the Black Southern farmer. I think that would be super great. That's tomorrow from 1 until 4 at Golden Belt. Okay, now this is a little upsetting. I adore jazz. I used to work at the Jazz Institute of Chicago. And to see 2 jazz concerts happening at the same time distresses me. I'm going to mention this. Of course, I will go ahead and encourage you to go. But I'm a little hurt that they didn't coordinate their calendars better, because jazz concerts don't happen every day. That's all I'm going to say. The Hayti Heritage Center, they're going to be hosting Blues and Roots, a tribute to Charles Mingus, the great late jazz bassist. That's going to be tomorrow from 6 until 7:30. Tickets are $15, and it's going to be like a musical tribute with his music. So that should be wonderful. At the same time, North Carolina Central University. Oh, did I tell you the time? 6 until 7:30. Yes, tickets $15. Now, North Carolina Central University's Jazz Studies Department, they're kicking off Fall Jazz Week tomorrow, same time, from 6 until 8:30, with an annual concert that is called Give the Drummer Some. It is led by professor and drummer Thomas Taylor. They're going to have also guest drummer Nasheet Waits, bassist Eric Revis, J.D. Allen on sax, and also a bunch of jazz percussion alumni. This is going to be a concert that's free to attend, although they would love it if you would donate. They're suggesting $20, whatever you can pay, because this money will be going towards the Jazz Studies Scholarship Fund. Well, how about that? Alice Fuller's here too. Sheer Social, be sure to check out her wonderful show on Fridays at noon. For sure, follow Alice Fuller for sure. Okay, yeah, actually, Alice, when it comes to the Black population in Chicago, I would have to say the hugest majority will be people from Mississippi. In fact, when I was a kid, there was a Vicksburg, Mississippi club on 63rd and King Drive, South Park back then. And yeah, they would save their money together, and they would meet, and they would save their money for their, back then you could lay away money, you could put money for layaway Christmas shopping. Anyway, yeah, Chicago and Mississippi, just saying. My folks aren't from Mississippi, but still. My folks are from Alabama and Tennessee and Cuba. Okay, let's see. Is that it for today? That is it. So again, at least attend one of these jazz concerts. Like I said, Blues and Roots, a tribute to Charles Mingus at the Hayti, and then Give the Drummer Some at NCCU. Now, you might expect, I need to mention this, most of their concerts are in B and Duke Auditorium. This one will not. keep in mind that this concert is going to be in the Education Building, the one that's off of Nelson and Highway 55. I don't know why, but that's, it's going to be in their auditorium. So there it is. So let me give you the weather. It's actually nice out. Wait, whoa. Don't tell me my sound is out. Hey, Guy, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, I guess, okay. Oh, and Tachi's saying, let's try again. Oh, she was trying to type something. Okay. That's why Black people there sound so Southern. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to do it right now in public, but yeah, most of us have real Southern drawl voices in private. But yeah, I can, yeah. Yeah. And Alice is asking, I haven't been to any events yet at the new main Durham Library, but I don't know if you were listening earlier, Alice, but today until 4, the main library has a $1 CD sale. So if you haven't been there, that's pretty good impetus for you to go. $1 for a CD? Okay. So let's go to the weather. It's gorgeous out. It is 55 and it's sunny. It's going to be sunny all day. It's going up to 62, which isn't bad. And then tomorrow it's going up to 58, but it's going to be sunny all day. Let me look ahead real quick. Oh, share this out, by the way, if you don't mind, so that more people can know what's happening in Durham. But let me check the weather for next week, just real quick. So the highs, Monday, 55, Tuesday, 62, Wednesday, 71, Thursday, 71, Friday, 55. Okay, up and down, as you can expect. We're in between the mountains and the ocean. So, our weather's a little volatile at times. So there you go. So I'll share this out. Looks like our cook is waiting in the wings. So let's see what is happening in Washington State. Let's bring him on. Guy, what's new?
Oh, my camera position is kind of bad. Oh. There.
Oh, wait, let me show off what I showed off yesterday. Wait a minute. It's really terrible, but I love it. Okay, wait. Where is it? Okay, wait. Oh, go ahead. I'll do this while you're talking.
Okay. Multitasking we have this at our hand. Anyway, I was finding out the gosh.
Go ahead.
I like that, except it covers up our name.
Yeah, and your face is too low.
Well, yeah, but that's because I'm.
But of course, here's the thing.
I'm not riding a bike like some people are.
But if I were designing that and had a guest that I, had scheduled, I'd probably include the names in the design of that. What do you call it? Overlay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just messing around with a
or template
program called 𝗕𝗓𝗓.
Some people call them templates. Yeah.
Template, yeah. 𝗕𝗓𝗓 has a
once
template
you had it
for
set up and you could share the dimensions, then people that have an image generator like Canva or whatever could make their own. Like if you want to have this look on your StreamYard doodah, then
well, I did this with 𝗕𝗓𝗓, and they have just a template. It's called live stream template. So
yeah, but once you got it online, you can say what are the dimensions and then measure it out.
If I wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I wanted to. So anyway, so what's new?
Speaking of what's new, okay. I got my first interview done. And I said, well, who's this guy? And his name is Dan Hank. And I'm going, never heard of him. He's even got a Wikipedia page. He's an artist. He works with sci-fi and horror writer authors and does covers for their artwork. He does a lot of tattoo art. He has a tattoo shop in New York City. Really interesting guy to talk to. And I found out about StreamYard is that when you record it, and because I wanted to edit, tweak and put the titles and stuff. When you do that, there's a feature in StreamYard. I haven't figured it out yet, but it's how do you post an announcement of what's coming up? And I waited too long to see that hadn't happened. I thought once you scheduled it, then that's all that had to happen. But it still says awaiting appointment time or something like that. So I had to build a graphic and just slap it into Facebook, just a screenshot of the intro and put 9 a.m. Pacific time. So, and let's see, in about an hour and a half, it'll go live. And it'll be on YouTube and it'll be on Facebook.
Okay, I'll check it out. And
it's huge. It's like 6 minutes long. I mean, for me, that's big. That's like a whole week's worth of podcast in one swoop.
Now, Alice, I noticed she's saying NABJ, that's National Association of Black Journalists, RDU. Apparently, they're not called TABJ anymore. It's NABJ RDU.
Oh.
So that's news right there.
So what does RDU stand for?
Raleigh Durham.
Oh.
Yeah, Raleigh Durham. Fake news, real problems, how to spot misinformation. Oh, Alice.
Oh, yeah. Go to Snopes.
Do we need that? Yes, we do.
Yeah, anytime I read something, it sounds just too good to be real. First thing I do, I go to Snopes and look it up. And if it's pretty verbalized, a lot of people are displaying it. Snopes will have a yay or nay on their site.
Well, Alice, I do hope you're able to come on the show. We've got plenty of time. Obviously, we have a few weeks. But absolutely, Alice, I would love to promote it. And I will put it in the Durham Skywriter as well. So it's NABJRDU. Okay, cool. So, Guy, I'm actually going to go. I forgot.
Okay.
My mechanic wanted me to bring the car back. I had some repairs made on my car. Actually, it was a tune-up, but it also needed a new. You know what an oil gasket is?
Yes.
Yeah. So it needed.
I'm a guy. Yes. It's one of those guy things you just know. I got to tell you this story about oil gaskets.
Okay.
Years ago, I had a Ford van, had a big 351 V8 in the front. And extracting the engine out of a van is not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, I broke a piston ring, so I needed a new motor.
Okay.
So took a fistful of dimes to the library, copied every page in the motor manual that related to that environment, and went back home, told the two boys, because they were youngsters, and I said, you don't go in the garage for nothing. Unless the house is on fire, you don't go in the garage until that van is done.
Which made them head straight to the garage.
Oh, of course. So I had every part that I took off, I put it in a plastic bag with a little piece of paper, like number 1, number 2, number 3. And then I would write down in like a journal, bag number 2 is the bolts off the front bumper or whatever it was. And got it all done, got the engine put in, which came from Shucks, and it worked. The rescue guy, you know how you always have a rescue guy show up when you got a big over your pay grade task? His name is Terry Jacobs. He worked as a mechanic at the bus garage in Kitsap County. So he came down, he says, how's it going? And so I said, okay, I'll show you. I opened the garage door and showed him where I was at. And I said, oh, you don't have the motor back in yet. Okay, when you get ready to put this back in, call me. And he came down and showed me how there's a special, it's called a torque wrench. So you have to tighten the bolts in a certain pound strength of tightness. Showed me how to do that. And then rescued me from, I had the timing, you know how there's a synchronization between the distributor and the pistons going. I had it 180 degrees out. So when it was trying to suck fuel in, I had it blowing it out. And so it wasn't starting very much. he got that
Okay.
fixed and started
Glad he
that.
came to your rescue. Okay.
It's good. You can do
So
anything if you put your mind to it and you have enough dimes.
yeah. Okay, so I think that is pretty much. Hey, Alice is here. Actually,
Okay.
let me let you go, guy. Let me
Okay.
let Alice promote her event. So I'll see you later, guy, and good luck
Okay.
with your tooth thing next week.
Monday. Week from
Monday. Ooh,
Monday.
okay. Okay. See yous.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye. Next week.
Hey,
Alice,
Pat.
what's new? Hey. Okay, see yous.
Bye bye.
Oh, you have your volume up.
I also have my.
Hey, Pat. What's new? Uh-oh. Need to close that page. Oh, you have your volume up.
I also have my.
Hey, Pat. Whoa. Where'd she go? Come back, Alice. Come back. Oh. Where is Alice? I hope she comes back. I think the problem was she had her page open, and you have to only have your StreamYard page open. Otherwise, you'll hear the echo from, let me bring her back properly. There you go. Alice, what's new?
Hi, Pat.
Hey,
What's going?
welcome. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. It is. You're the first person. Well, actually, you're only the second person I've spoken to today. So.
Wow. Did you just ignore the storm past people angrily, or you just
No,
didn't have the opportunity to say anything?
No, well, I just got up a couple of minutes ago because it's Saturday.
Okay. Oh, you didn't hear me say this. I got my booster yesterday and it hurts. And I have a headache. So I'm going to lay low today after I bring my car back from the mechanic.
And just chill.
Yeah. I have an owie.
Oh,
I'll be okay.
You'll be okay. Yes. But yeah, talking about the NABJ, it is no longer TABJ, which was Triangle Association of Black Journalists.
Mm-hmm.
It is now NABJ RDU, formerly known
so it's
as
the RDU
TABJ.
chapter.
Yes.
Right.
If you go to the fan page, it says formerly known as TABJ.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
So what made that name change necessary, or was it necessary?
You know what? I don't know. I remember eons ago when I was part of the kind of like the founding members of TABJ eons ago, and of course, I moved and went to Los Angeles and came back. The name had changed. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I suspect
now in Chicago there was the CABJ, Chicago Association of Black Journalists, and then a rival organization started with some upstarts, and they called themselves NABJ Chicago, and they had to really duke it out. I don't know who reigned victorious because that was while I was still in Chicago. I'm sure by now I'm sure there's only one organization standing. I can't imagine two organizations surviving.
I would imagine NABJ ties you to the national, having that in your title, as opposed to just saying triangle, which kind of limits you to the Raleigh-Durham area, even though it's a chapter. I mean, you're tied when you say you're a chapter of something, you're tied to a bigger effort. So that's why I suspect the name change came through to make it more official. Maybe, I don't know.
How does that affect dues, or am I getting too deep here?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay. Because no. I mean, I was thinking, with the TABJ, you would pay the TABJ, and then if you wanted to be a national member, then you would pay another. So it's the same way now.
Same way.
Oh, okay.
Same way.
Gotcha.
But I came on just to talk about this event we're doing December 11th.
Okay.
December 11th. It's a Saturday morning, so technically about a month from now.
Nice.
It's Saturday
Where's
morning.
my pen? I need to jot this down.
It runs from 10 a.m. till noon. It is a panel discussion as well as a workshop.
Okay.
We have partnered with the Elon University's North Carolina local news workshop.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, so Elon University has an arm of it that literally just delves in supporting independent news and making sure
Mhm.
that journalists are supported and things of that nature. So
Nice.
we're partnering with them to facilitate the workshop, and we're doing the panel. The
Okay.
panel will include Rod Carter from CBS 17.
Okay.
He's the moderator. Tamara Scott from ABC 11. She's
Okay.
a reporter, multimedia journalist.
Mhm.
Sharif Durham's from the from the NNO. And then we've got Dr. Delon Canterbury, who is the president and CEO of Geriatrics, and he's going to speak to about misinformation and COVID and vaccine and things of that nature.
Okay. Because I hope they address the what is that word they use? Radicalization that's
Hmm.
occurred because of people being upset and home for too many hours in the
Okay.
day and
Hmm.
radicalizing themselves by watching QAnon and other videos
Okay.
and all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, send me that so I could send it to the moderator because I won't
Okay.
remember it after today.
Well,
But
it's a really big deal. It might not be that bad here in Durham, but there are a lot of people whose families have literally split up because they're arguing. You know, the kids are trying to tell the grandparents that's fake.
yeah.
That's not true. You're watching Fox and
Hmm.
with the Tucker Carlson with his ridiculous. Anyway,
Yes.
so this is going to be for everyday folks, not journalists.
Yeah, this is not for no. This is for the community, and
Oh, good.
the other panelist we have is Karen Bell, who is the executive director of the State Board of Elections.
Oh, nice.
So
So this is an online event then.
it's virtual. Yes, it will be
Okay.
virtual. So I put
Thank
up,
goodness.
although you can't see it in the thing that you got on the screen, but in the post
Hmm.
under the video, I did put where you could register. It's a free event, so you could register for the event. So you'll receive. Of course, it's going to be on Zoom, but I'm hoping to do something a little special,
Snazzier. Yeah.
something a little snazzier. That's the plan.
Hmm. Hmm.
Something a little snazzier than just the Brady Bunch looking
Hmm.
thing. But
Well, I will promote it in the Skywriter for sure.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's the panel um, for people, and the panel is done that way so that we could talk to traditional news people
Hmm.
who have to fight misinformation because we know traditional news is in direct competition with online and
Hmm.
what is
Hmm.
created online, but also um, we wanted to talk specifically too about the misinformation spread around elections
Hmm.
as well as
Hmm.
misinformation and disinformation shared around COVID vaccines and things of that nature. So I tried to get a little mix of community people as
Hmm.
well as media professionals, so we could touch on different things. So the panel will
Okay.
run from 10 a.m. to around 11 o'clock, and
Hmm.
then at 11 a.m. the workshop portion. So anybody
Ooh.
who attends the workshop or attends the whole, you have to register. But if you register and attend, you get a certificate of attendance.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh,
Okay. Certificate.
ooh, a certificate.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely be attending. Of course, I'll be a little late because of my show, but
Yes,
I'll try to
that's
rush through it as quickly as possible on the 11th, and then hopefully you won't mind me popping in late.
no, because I suspect a lot of people pop in whenever they do. But
Mm.
we had this conversation. This the whole reason why we're doing it is because we did an event back in the spring called Media Day, and we do it every year, Media Days.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um, And Media Day, as if you've attended before, we tell the community how to best get in contact with the local press. What makes it to the news, why certain things don't make it to the news. How journalists want to be, if you want to submit something, how journalists want to be contacted, that kind of thing. And we had this conversation about misinformation and about how at this level of the game, people are not clear on when they're reading something from a very well educated blogger or very well informed blogger versus an actual journalist. Because it doesn't take much to throw up a website and a banner and a blog and
because
call
all
it
you have
a
to do is
news
just
outlet.
present as intelligent and
then there's that.
So,
Then there's that. So we were talking about how that's such a huge problem during Media Day, and then it came back around, and we decided to do it before the end of the year.
I'm so glad you're doing this because, like I said, when I got my booster shot yesterday, I did ask the folks at Lincoln Community Health Center, are they hearing about people acting up and being crazy in Durham? They said for the most part, Durhamites have plenty of sense, and you don't really, you don't see on YouTube crazy Durhamites falling to the ground in protest.
No,
Wearing
but
masks.
here's what's interesting though. You say that last year, right around 2020 elections, there was a Facebook page dedicated to attracting North Carolina citizens, and it was called like something like Breaking News North Carolina. It was a Facebook group, had over like 5,000, 50,000. I have to go back to my research to see it. But it was a huge number of people in that group, and seemingly mostly North Carolina citizens. And it was in the people that were behind the group were putting misinformation in the group in an effort to create discord primarily between races, because they would put stereotypical stories up and see, look at this is what they do, and stirring up fear mongering and all that other kind of crap. And it took a couple of days before Facebook would take it down. They
did take it down though.
Yeah, North Carolina Policy Watch reported on the story.
Oh, they're cool.
And they interviewed or got a soundbite from a local attorney who used to be a journalist. He stumbled upon it and brought it to their attention. And he shows, and if you go to I'll send you the link to the article if I can find it.
Yeah, because I
got it in my research. And you'll see the examples they put in the Facebook group. And to look at it in passing, the average person wouldn't know that it's all a lie. Because people don't dig. And so you take what you see in the Facebook group as truth, not realizing that it's all fake. And then unknowingly we become vessels of misinformation.
Wow. Did you just make that up? Vessels of misinformation? That sounds very poetic. Copyright that phrase.
Yeah, that was straight off the dome. Straight off the dome. Yeah.
That was good.
Because that's what because we hold on to it and then we just keep pouring it out.
Wow.
So
I can't wait because and I will definitely contact. Actually, I hope you stay on after I end the show, because I did have one question I want to ask you off the record. So yeah, I'm glad you came on, and I hope you come on again closer to December 11th to remind us.
Yes.
Because I don't know if there's a it's on Zoom, so there's probably not going to be much of a deadline for registering, right?
No, there's no deadline, but it would be nice if people would register. Don't wait to the last minute to register, as we often do. But still, it would be nice to at least get it on your calendar, because what happens is people will forget. So you register, go ahead and put it on your calendar, get in the mindset, December 11th from 10 a.m. till noon. I got something to do.
Right. And then don't forget to watch Bull City Hangout on the replay.
Yeah, exactly. That too. So yeah.
Actually, what I might do, I might even pre-record my show.
Oh,
so
well,
I don't miss
that
anything
yeah, that works
instead
too.
of rushing through it.
That works too. So yeah, and
'Cause
we'll eventually uh put the replay of the panel
mhm.
on the Facebook page for 𝗕𝗓𝗟𝗓.
Oh, good. Okay.
So we're not going to stream it initially to Facebook and
Mhm.
things of that nature because we want people to
Okay.
register so you can get that certificate if you
Okay.
want the certificate, and then we'll put the replay on Facebook.
Okay. And probably just the 10 to 11 part will be available because I guess 11 to 12 people will be talking about things that maybe they don't want
Well, that's the
everyone on
workshop
Facebook.
portion.
Yeah. So maybe you
That's the
won't
workshop.
broadcast that one, right?
No, because there'll be breakout rooms.
Yeah.
So we're doing individual breakout rooms from 11 to 12. And
Okay.
to my knowledge, Zoom does not record breakout rooms. I could be wrong on that.
Oh,
But
okay.
at the end of the day, I know we can get the panel. And like I said, I'm going to try to do a little live streaming magic. So it's
Oh,
not just the typical, square thing,
yeah.
you know.
Actually, if you go to YouTube, there are lots of videos. If you search just right, you will find lots of tips and tricks that can make your Zoom event a lot more special than the
Um,
average everyday
I
Zoom
I have
event.
seen them. I have seen them, and I plan to work some of that magic that I've already seen
Ooh,
on
okay.
because you know what I use for my live streaming already. And so I can set up the live stream to
Hmm.
integrate right into Zoom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so the panel discussion will be upon my direction. So let's hope
Hmm.
let's
Okay.
hope it goes well. And
Oh, I
then
know it will. I know it
and
will.
then the will come out of the panel and go right into the workshop.
Hmm.
And again, that's the North Carolina. If anybody wants to Google, it's the Elon University, the North Carolina Local News Workshop.
Local news workshop.
Hmm.
Okay.
They've got a Facebook page. They've got Twitter. So they're quite, as I would call, Googleable. And they've been doing
Google.
these workshops for the last year or so around
Okay.
misinformation. Anyway.
UNC Chapel Hill used to have a week of like a boot camp,
Hmm.
a journalist boot
Boot
camp.
camp.
They haven't had it in years though, because I wanted to go. I heard about it too late, like after the fact.
Hmm.
And I just think they stopped doing it. But they've got some really notable professors over there when it comes to community news at
Yep.
UNC Chapel Hill.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
that's where
One
you.
actually one just I think Jock Lauder, I think he's probably retired by now. I know he was semi-retired last time I saw him.
Well,
But
UNCTV is a sprang out of uh, UNC Chapel Hill some eons ago.
it
So,
is.
uh-huh.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, UNCTV, I
Wow.
think used to be on the campus of UNC Chapel Hill and then
That
some
makes
other things.
sense.
Hmm.
That
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
the December 11th, 10 a.m. to noon,
Hmm.
panel, great panel, and then we will do an interactive workshop. So come prepared to take some notes and
Awesome. And get some ammunition for
yeah,
countering things
yes.
that you've been hearing. Now, on the health page of the Durham Skywriter, at the very bottom of the page, you're going to see, if you go down there, you will see a video debunking how to help people see the light when it comes to COVID misinformation. It was
Mm-hmm.
run by Duke
Mm-hmm.
some time ago, and I have it. It was so good, I went ahead and just posted it on the health page.
I'll take a
So
look at that.
it's how to convince people to uh, not accept the misinformation that they're spewing about COVID.
Well, it's interesting because in talking with some people who, especially in the voter registration realm of things, and I asked this individual, when you counter the misinformation that you see or that you hear coming to the polls or coming in for
Hmm.
voter registration, where are people getting their information from? And she couldn't necessarily tell me where people were getting their information from,
I can tell you.
but but uh, I suspect that a lot of people now are using Facebook,
Hmm.
social media, and the like. not that the word
the two main
people
culprits
don't still talk
have
to
been
each other
Fox.
offline.
Yeah, but Fox News and QAnon are the two biggest
Yes.
culprits. Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot spread through the networks and the groups and whatever we watch, because the algorithm just keep feeding us, whatever it is we want, whatever we engage with the most, that's what the algorithms will continue to feed us.
Yeah.
So knowing that YouTube is a hotbed, or used to be especially a hotbed of controversy and conspiracy theorists, and then you've got Facebook being used to do all sorts of things
Oh yeah.
beyond just politics and vaccine, but human trafficking and all that other stuff. And then you've got pockets of
And
people
there's
that are now targeting, younger people with TikTok and things of that nature. So,
oh yeah, there's a TikTok radicalization as well. And also a lot of people have forgotten about radio. Just because they don't listen to the radio, that doesn't mean that there are millions of old folks listening to AM talk radio all day. And they've been
true.
radicalizing people since the 70s. In fact, there's an AM
Mm-hmm.
station in Raleigh. They're right wing.
Really?
They have a wonderful gardening show, but yeah, they're kind of, unless they've changed their tune,
Oh,
they're
so
not as bad.
are they planting seeds of discourse? Is that, is that what they're doing?
I like that. I think they're watering the seeds of discourse because they're already
Okay.
there for a lot of people.
Okay.
Because
All right.
there's a lot of people who are conservative. Shouldn't really be a bad word, but yeah, they do say
Yeah.
the average Black family is conservative, but not conservative in the way that is used in politics, which is like wanting everything to stay the same and not letting anybody else in, halting progress.
Well, that's just
So
power dynamics too.
yeah. So anyway,
it's
so
going to be hopefully a really great event. Well, I just hope people get something out of it, because you can find people talking all day, every day. There's nothing special there. But I really hope we depart some wisdom, some insight, and really help people spot misinformation, because it
for
is so
sure.
hard to do. And even for people, those of us who are in the game, who are in our media professionals and in our media bubbles, we can see something sometimes that looks like, wait a minute, we have the training to say, let me look at something else
Let
right
me
quick.
backtrack and check
Let
this
me
out real quick.
backtrack on that a little bit. But the average person isn't going to do that in many instances. And that can be scary. That can be a little scary.
I really think they should teach this in school, because when we were little kids, Pop would oversee our book reports. And so we'd hand him the book report. Then he'd say, okay, tell me who wrote the book. And I'd say, John Smith. And he'd say, who's John Smith? I'd be like, I
The
don't
author of the book.
know, Dad. But he said you have to know where they're coming from so that you know how to weigh what they're saying. He says a slave owner would be the author of a book on how happy the slaves are to be in captivity and to this and that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah. So he says you have to know who's writing the book. He says it's not enough just to read the words. Who are they, and where are they coming from? And that kind of set me on my path to be skeptical of any and everybody, including him sometimes. Yeah, and myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's really important for young people, especially to learn, because too often people follow. In fact, this word influencer, I don't think even existed when I was a kid, but people follow people because they're famous. And I'm like, that doesn't make what they're saying any
Truer
truer
or any more
in
factual.
any kind of way.
No.
All they have to do, again, like I said, they have to present as intelligent or influential, and people will believe anything they say.
There's a plus and minus to the evolution of media now, because when we were growing up, you only had a certain amount of people who control the media, which is still relatively
Mhm.
true as far as traditional media is concerned.
Mhm.
And so you had television, radio, print, and you couldn't talk back to those. And even now, in
Sure
every
couldn't.
blue moon, they might open up the telephone lines and let you call in. You might get a town hall
Or a
somewhere,
well-written letter to the editor.
or a well written letter to the editor that they would publish.
Mhm.
But once the paradigm shifted, and now
Mhm.
we have these things called smartphones, which aren't necessarily all the time the most intelligent, but when it shifted to we becoming the the source and the distributor of news and
Mhm.
information, then we have a problem because people
Yeah.
don't have to abide by FCC rules.
Mhm.
They're not beholden to any word of, and they don't have to be. There's no integrity involved per se. Everything that you
Mhm.
learned in journalism school, not to be biased and things of that nature. All of that can easily go out the window. And
All the more
reality of it
reason
is,
for checking out the that's all the more reason for checking out the people that you listen and listen to and watch.
well, that too.
And just don't watch anybody.
But then too, even with the traditional,
Mhm.
because we know it's a business, and when there's money involved, you can be paid
Mhm.
or swayed to
Oh
purport
yeah.
a
That does
certain
happen,
way.
doesn't it?
It does happen, and we don't like to admit it, but it does
Mhm.
happen.
Mhm.
So with journalists becoming celebrities themselves now, because people get their own shows and become celebrity, and then thus they become
Celebrity.
influencers. Yes, I
Mhm.
will not tell a lie.
Influencer. Mhm.
That's a lie you told right there. So, so at the end of the day, when we start thinking about how media is changing and the social impact of social media, because news
Mhm.
and information spreads faster through social media.
Mhm.
It spreads
Ooh.
faster. And when something pops, it hits Twitter quick and it just runs, even
Mhm. Mhm.
internationally, globally. When there's a revolution, whether it's Nigeria, Ethiopia, whether
Mhm.
it's the Middle East, the first thing they do, or even if it's China, the first thing the country does is shut down social media.
Yeah.
First thing they do,
Yeah. Mhm.
because they don't want people getting the word out
Mhm.
at
Yeah,
all.
it's interesting how some countries like China like have their own version of Facebook because
Hmm.
they don't want them connecting to the regular Facebook.
That's it. That's it. And now
So,
with Facebook moving into Africa, South Africa, Nigeria, and other places,
mhm.
uh,
Mhm.
they're going to rely very heavily on one particular social media platform. Sometimes it will be Facebook, sometimes it will be Twitter, and whatever
Mhm.
else. And knowing that they're using their smartphones primarily to get the word out. So when you
Mhm.
can stop the flow of information coming out of a country, then you can sway perception. You can sway
Mhm.
and influence action. So
Yeah.
it's a big conversation to have, but I'm trying to I'm trying to keep it a little smaller.
Mhm.
And I say I because I'm spearheading this event for NABJ, but at the end of the day, it's not a Alice thing. It's an NABJ project. I'm just the one who
Mhm.
happens to be coordinating this particular event, and there'll be other ones, more to come.
Mhm.
Probably fall or spring, because we will do media days again next year.
That's good because I did attend one of your events. It was in where was that? Apex?
It was an
I think it
Apex.
was
I
Apex.
remember. Hmm.
That was good.
Yes, that was. I think it was.
That
Or
was
was a few
real good.
Arena. Was it a few Arena? Was it Apex? Either
I
way,
know that it was straight down Highway 55. So I think that's
you were
Apex.
there. That's all.
Was
You
it?
were there. That's all I remember. Either way, it was either Apex or Fuquay Arena, one of them. But yes, so
It
we
was
try
good.
to we try to do something for the community when we can,
Mhm.
and we
Mhm.
should anyway, all things considered. So this is just one of those things we're trying to get the community to be aware of, and especially
Mhm.
now because everybody's talking about misinformation. It's not just
Yeah.
NABJ. these pockets of conversation around how not misinformation, but now we're talking about disinformation. A whole strategic campaign to confuse and befuddle
confuse
people.
and befuddle.
Yeah. And
now,
then
Alice, I have to ask you this one last question, because it's one thing to identify misinformation. And we're talking about family members and friends who are believing crazy things, families splitting up, people freaking out.
Yeah.
There's this gentleman named 𝗕𝗓𝗓 𝗧𝗓, and I hope somebody on your panel will be able to sort of echo what 𝗕𝗓𝗓 𝗧𝗓 does. What he does, he is an anti-brainwash expert. And he instructs people on how to talk with folks. Because, on YouTube, everybody's like, oh, they're crazy. Boy, are they stupid. They're like, you're brainwashed. You guys are in a cult. That's the opposite of what you should do. And 𝗕𝗓𝗓 𝗧𝗓 explains how to talk to people who have been inundated with misinformation. So I do hope that I like it when people point out problems, but I usually only like it when solutions are presented as well.
Okay.
So I really hope that somebody on your panel can instruct us on how to talk with people who.
Well, that's why we added the workshop portion, because we can talk all day, but if we're not leaving you with some tools, some tools, some insight, something when we hit end on that stream into Zoom, you now have something that you can take away and use and share. Even better, share.
Excellent. That's
I can't wait.
This is going to be good.
I'm foreseeing a very good event. So hopefully, and technically to go well too.
Here's the thing, though. After this event is over, the other NABJ chapters will probably say, "Ooh, we should do that."
Well, sure. Why not? Why not? Everybody. I think I don't know what NABJ is doing nationally, technically, but considering how misinformation impacts us globally, locally, but specifically in our communities, in our Black, and I'm gonna just flat out say it, in our Black communities, because something affects everybody, then the percentage of it affecting us is usually twice as bad. So depending on what it is, and usually when it comes down to elections, and when it comes down to health, we always seem to get the shorter end of the stick when it comes down to
mental health, because how many Black folks have been had their lives ended, unfortunately, because they were in the throes of a mental distress, and instead of being served with help, they were shot instead. So
unfortunately, that'll be a whole different event, but that's
a whole different thing.
That's worthy of talking about too, though. But at the end of the day, we should be having these conversations, even if it's not a bunch of professional journalists. I mean, just having these conversations within your own groups and churches and barbershops and salons and those cornerstones of the culture. Because me saying it may not mean a hill of beans to you, but if the barber you respect and that you have a relationship says it, then it might have a little bit more weight.
I got you. So this is going to be a good thing here. Okay. And it's free, right?
All day, every day, especially on Saturday from 10 a.m. to do. It is free.
Good price.
We're not charging a thing. All we want is your attention. If you can pay attention, that's all we ask. Awesome. You ain't even got to come out of pocket for that.
I appreciate it. What do you usually say? Free 95?
Oh, no. It's free 99. In other words, free 99. In marketing terms, every time you put 99 behind something, it's like people think they're saving $1 just because it's not the whole number. So it's always going to be $7.99, or it's going to be $147, or it's only
And
going to
99
be
cents.
no, they don't even have the 99, but that's a whole marketing mind game to make you think you're saving money.
Okay. I like when you say that.
Yeah.
And
So
thank you, Chachi. She's enjoying the conversation.
yeah, Tachi, you can come too. I mean, because technically the conversation is really, well, it is somewhat localized in that the participants are local, but the reality of it is this is a
It's
bigger
a nationwide
conversation.
problem.
Yeah, it's a
Actually, it's a
global,
worldwide problem.
it's a worldwide problem. And it was interesting to me in my research finding out how many PR firms around the world now are making money as distributors of disinformation.
Oh,
It's big money. It
it
is
is.
big money, and especially when it comes around to election and things. I mean, we see this stuff in movies, and we say, "Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it would
It's,
never happen like
you
that."
know
And it's
why
like,
it's so stupid?
no.
Because there are whole contingents of people in Australia talking about Trump coming back, and I'm like, I can't even name Australia's president. I assume they have one.
Yeah, I'm sure
Maybe the
they got
prime minister.
a
I don't
prime
even
minister,
know.
something. Yes, they do. I'm sure they do. I'm
But
sure they do.
they are all in our business talking about Trump coming back. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with you all. Why are you even get out of here?
Well,
And
here's the
they're
thing.
all riled up and
Well, that's true, but think about it. America has set
Australia.
itself up as an example of lots of different things. Whether it's a true example or not, that is not a conversation I'm going to have right now. Howsoever, it has set itself up as a beacon, as an example of this and that and the other.
Yeah.
So other countries look at America and say, well, if y'all acting crazy, well, because usually y'all act like you got a little bit of sense, but this right here, oh,
Oh,
what are y'all doing? What is
I would
going
like to
on
know
over there in
myself.
America? This is not
I don't
supposed to
even
be
know.
going on in America. Yeah, in some other countries, yes, but in America, something has slipped.
Not really. It's just that certain people now have a voice, like you just said, with the internet and all. It used to be just like targeted individuals. That's gaining in popularity.
Yeah.
And before, targeted individuals were maybe people with suffering from paranoia and other mental maladies. And now they're forming all these groups online, unfortunately, finding other people suffering from tendencies to be paranoid and, very often Christian, what's the word? Victimhood and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And it's becoming a real ugly scene.
It
And
is.
we get more than before because we didn't know those people.
But
But
now we
now they're
know
all
these
on
people.
YouTube. And it's like, who opened this Pandora's box?
Well, we know who kind of opened it. It was always simmering underneath the surface, and then it
Well, yeah,
just
it's always
became.
been there.
It's
Sure.
always been there. But
Mhm.
when the sad part about it is, but it's also something to observe and to take note on is, though we may not like Trump and everything else, but when you look at how strategic things have been done, because when
Oh,
you have
sure.
somebody who knows how to play the media game and play it well, whether good or bad, when you have somebody who knows how to garner media attention, because you know what they say, bad PR is still good PR.
No, it's not.
It's not. We don't think so, but you stay front of mind. And if the key is to stay front of mind, if the key is to become a household name, and if the key is to keep people talking about you, then mission accomplished.
Yeah, I made a comment. Some of these progressive guys that I watch are still every day, several times a day, making posts on Trump and all of his little escapades and all these other people. And I had a comment. I said, it's all fun and good to make fun of these people, but we're going to eventually, we being the progressive Democrats or whatever we are, I don't know, have to eventually get to work getting the vote out and stop making fun of these people, because it gets tired after a while.
Well, not only
You know,
that, it's just like when people
we
look
need to
down their
concentrate on
nose,
what we need to do.
it's like underestimating Matlock. You know what I mean?
No,
It's like underestimating Matlock.
you're just a
It's like,
good
oh,
old boy.
you make fun now, make fun of
Mm.
me now, but while you're
You fall behind
laughing,
later.
yeah, while you're laughing, I'm
Mm.
strategically moving pieces
Exactly.
in place. So when it's important, I'm gonna come up from behind and you won't even see it coming because you were so busy laughing. When
Exactly. Thank you, Alice. Thank you.
you should have been looking at the
Do
strategy
I get
because
loud? Sorry.
while you kikiing, I'm over here making strategic moves. And when you know
There
it,
you go.
the blow
Thank you. That's
will be
another
made.
conversation I want to have because I'm really kind of bored with these guys continuously poking fun
Yeah.
at the other side because I mean we know they're crazy, but the thing is, they're one thing I noticed. I used to work with a nonprofit called Blueprint NC,
Mm-hmm.
and it was wonderful. But basically, our job was to rework our message into palatable, digestible, shareable
Mm-hmm.
concepts
Yep.
because you notice on the conservative side they're all saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice that they have their marching orders, so to speak, they're
Mm-hmm.
all pretty much saying, and if you call them to task and ask them to define things, they can't. But
Mm-hmm.
they're won over, and they all. So our job was to do the same. It's hard to corral people who are more in terms like our thinking mode, free thinkers, or people who pride ourselves in being a little bit more intelligent than people who are in cults. Although Steve Hassan says the smartest person can join a cult, it's not a matter of intelligence. But yeah, so our job is to do the same thing. Although I don't like being told what to do, think, or say,
Mm-hmm.
still it's important to have the message. How can I put this? Arranged in such a way that it's shareable
Mm-hmm.
and et cetera, et cetera. So, like you said, we're not doing that and they're doing it, even though what they're saying is ludicrous. But if it gets the vote out, it works for them.
It works
Look at
for them.
Virginia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because remember what I remember last year when I said on the social media scene, all the people that were thrown off, a lot of the people like the Alex Jones and all these other crazy people
Mm-hmm.
that were thrown off of social media, and he invited them to the White House
Mm-hmm.
to, to basically acknowledge them because people love to be acknowledged. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
And then to give them some sort of marching
Like a
orders
platform.
or
Mm-hmm.
give
Oh,
them
yeah. Okay.
and give him a platform to give him a
Mm-hmm.
platform and then
Mm-hmm.
give them marching orders. And so
Exactly.
you have these people who are now acknowledged by the president of the United States at the time. So they feel like, you know what? I have been deputized now. And though I
You are
may not be
absolutely
on
right.
and though I may not be on YouTube anymore, you're not stopping me from doing a podcast. You're not stopping
Mm-hmm.
me from live streaming on my own website. You really
Or
haven't stopped me from
Patreon. They're making
doing
all kinds of money with Patreon, et cetera, et cetera. They have their own
exactamundo.
platform.
And then you fast
Because you
forward
know what
to the
Tachi
recent
has said
news
this.
of
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. But what Tachi
oh,
has
but I was just
said,
saying, but now that Trump,
oh, go ahead.
we keep doing the same thing because I guess there's a delay. But when you look at what Trump has announced recently, because he's going to start
Mm,
his own social media network, which is no surprise there.
yes.
And once again, we laughed at it like, whatever. But watch and learn. Watch
Mm-hmm.
and learn.
Yeah.
And hey, if MySpace can make a comeback as it did earlier this week via call, then
What?
well, yeah, that's a whole nother something. But
Anyway, okay.
yeah, but at the end of the day, when you can galvanize people around a
Mm-hmm.
cause, and we know that works time and time and time again,
Mm-hmm.
and you empower these people to
Mm-hmm.
do what they do best.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but while the rest of us are laughing and trying to say,
Yeah.
well, it won't become anything. It'll be nothing. Then
Mm-hmm.
come election day, you see the
And
results
it's
of
like,
their
oh,
effort. Exactly. The exactamundo.
And what I was going to say, as far as touch, and you said this as well, always have your own theme. So if you are booted off of social media or something happens to social media, you still have your own thing, your own platform, your own way to get the word out to your folks.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing. You know.
And then they're using traditional media to do it, because traditional media, they can't have dead air. You can't have empty pages. You can't have blank web pages. So the sadder part is, on one end, do you really want to cover this? Because you kind of have to, because it's still news. It's still relevant. It still impacts us locally, nationally, and somewhat globally. So as a journalist, you have to cover it. So thus, by covering it, you're once again giving it probably a platform that you didn't really want to give it.
Exactly.
So you're darned if you do, and you're darned if you don't. And knowing that, it's just like, what, even now, if he does anything, does a statement somewhere, makes his own social media platform, it's going to be a headline somewhere. It's just like a fire. The best way to put out a fire is to what? You can throw water on it, but it's to smother it, right?
Depending on the kind of fire. Water might spread.
Right now we're looking at a kitchen fire.
Exactly.
And
grease fire.
We can just put the lid on it if we want to.
Exactly. You are so good with that.
But the reality of it is, because it is the business of media and not just media, and everybody needs their clickbait, everybody needs their subscriptions, everybody needs their coin. You're not going to cover the story.
Exactly. Because you don't want to be left out.
Well, not only that, you don't want to be left out, but you also, because it is news. Because it is news. And if your job is to cover the news, then redefining what news is might be the key. But at the end of the day,
there you go.
Every station is looking at every other station, because even when I worked in news, hard news, everybody's looking at the competition to see what they cover and how they cover it. And what angle can we come at it different? Who didn't they interview?
Exactly.
What angle didn't they come at it from? So it's a catch-22 that you can't win for losing to a degree, because you're supposed to cover the news.
Exactly. So. Alice, I hope you come back. I just remembered my mechanic is only open until midday, and he wanted me to bring my car back.
Oh,
so
go handle your business. Handle your business. Get your car done, and then come home and chill, and then watch the movie.
I'm chill anyway, because, like I said, my shoulder.
That's what I'm saying. I want you to come home and then watch the movie Passing on Netflix if you haven't seen that yet, and so then we can talk about it.
I don't have Netflix though. I'm not.
John Brown. Oh, never mind. Anyway. Well, you know what? If you want to see it, I got the hookup.
Okay.
If you want to see
got you.
We can make that happen. That ain't nothing but a word.
Okay. I will take you up on that.
Not a problem.
So Kente saying hello as we're leaving. Oh my gosh, Kente Ferguson.
Hi, Kente.
Oh my, all the way from Los Angeles.
West Side.
He's a filmmaker. I don't know if you know Kente.
Familiar with
he's
Kente,
got these really cool talk and conversation shows.
Kente,
long time no see.
Kente has a live stream too, doesn't
he? Yeah. Right. Kente is awesome. And actually, he had something about tennis earlier this year, which was out of character. Maybe not out of character. Maybe it surprised me. Oh, you see, you were on his show.
Eons ago. Yes, I do believe.
Okay. Yeah.
A couple of years back.
So I hate to leave, but I do have to rush my car to the mechanic before he closes.
Okay.
And come back anytime you like, Alice. Love to have you on.
Don't forget to ask the question you wanted to ask. The question that was you still want to ask.
So I don't go anywhere. Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and end the show. Okay, folks. So that is today's show. I'm going to actually gently place Alice into the green room.
Gently.
And then I just want to tell you how much I enjoyed doing Bull City Hangout today. Share this out. so that more people can know what's happening this weekend in Durham. And with that, goodbye. I will see you at noon on Monday for Bull City Hangout. And be sure to check out the totally new, redesigned Durham Skywriter at durhamskywriter.com. I need your feedback because I'm new to all this redesigning on Wix and all that kind of stuff. So let me know if there are improvements that need to be made. So anyway, ciao for now, and I will see you at noon on Monday.